Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here in beautiful Mobile, Alabama during National Infrastructure Week, a time where we are celebrating important infrastructure work across the country. Welcome to what will soon be the Mobile International Airport, the latest stop in the Engineering and Public Works Roadshow. My name is Lauren Pratt, and I'm here representing the American Society of Civil Engineers, or ASCE. Engineering and public works professionals sit at the nexus of service to our communities, to businesses, to families, and to visitors from across the nation and the globe. The projects we design, build, and maintain are critical for ensuring our built environment serves the public safely and efficiently, improving residents' lives and growing our regional economies. No project better represents progress for the sake of its community than the new Mobile International Airport. As Mobile expands its industrial activities and draws in more residents and business opportunities, the new airport will bring travelers closer to the amenities and services Mobile has to offer. Our speakers later on in the program will be able to speak more to the specific benefits of this project and the features we can expect. As an ambassador of our Engineering and Public Works Roadshow, the airport fits in perfectly with the kinds of projects this initiative sets out to promote. In 2022, ASCE, along with the American Council of Engineering Companies, or ACEC, and the American Public Works Association, or APWA, joined like-minded forces to travel the country, amplifying the incredible work our nation's engineers and public works professionals are doing. Infrastructure can often be an out of sight, out of mind, and taken for granted, despite solving complex issues and incorporating state-of-the-art technologies. We wanted young professionals, students, elected officials, and more to see these achievements and hear the stories behind them so that collectively we can appreciate all their work. Additionally, the Mobile International Airport incorporates local, state, and federal funding, a culmination of elected officials and state leaders coming together to do something beneficial for the region. We felt this collaboration certainly needed to be recognized. Our first speaker this morning is Mayor Cheragatus. Mayor Cheragatus was elected last November and has deep roots in the Mobile community. He has demonstrated a commitment to continuing Mobile's immense growth and investments in public projects such as this. Thank you for joining us today, Mayor. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pratt. You know, in Mobile, we're trying to build a city. We want to build a city that stands the test of time. And we want to build a city that people love to live in and like to visit. And this airport is a huge part of both of those goals. I want to thank the Mobile Airport Authority Board for hosting us today. Thank you to Adam for hosting us today. Thank you to Jesco for building this beautiful building that we're standing in right now. But I really want to thank the EPW Roadshow for making this your first stop in the state of Alabama. We're really proud Mobilians to be the oldest city in Alabama, and we're glad that we were your first stop on this tour. It's a special week to be here too. It's Public Works Week. I know I'm competing in an excavator challenge tomorrow to celebrate Public Works Week, but I'm glad to be here celebrating the engineering and the work that's going into this building. I thank you all for being here. You know, this kind of project is truly transformative. It's transformative for not just the city of Mobile, but we hope for the entire region. You know, I hope and believe that the Mobile International Airport will not just be Mobile's airport, it's going to be South Alabama's airport, hopefully extending beyond the region. So glad to see the work that's going in today. It's been about a month and a half since I've been in this building, and a lot has happened in that time, but none of it would have happened without the partnerships that got us here today. You know, both local partnerships, statewide partnerships, but I have to highlight our federal partnerships. I want to thank Representative Shamari Figures for his investment in this building that we're in today. Thank you to Senators Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville for the money and time and interest they've invested in this project. This is a culmination of a lot of work by a lot of people, and a lot of engineering certainly went into it, and a lot of work from the city is going to continue to support this project because we believe in it. We believe and the impact it will truly have in our area, our region, and especially our city. Thank you again for being here today. Thank you for making Mobile your first stop. I hope to see you again. We have a few other projects we'd love for you to visit, but you're right, this is the perfect project to highlight, the conjunction of public works, engineering, and all the investment that happens to make a project like this real. It's state, it's federal, it's local, and I'm thankful for those partnerships. Thank you to the MAA for being a fantastic partner, and thank you all for being here.
Mayor, thank you for your leadership and for being here today. So we are honored, if you would mind standing back up, we're honored to recognize you with our Roadshow Crystal for leadership in the infrastructure space.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Taylor Janey. Taylor is our Alabama Section ASCE President. He's a state aeronautics engineer for the Alabama Department of Transportation, or ALDOT, and is the steward of Alabama's aviation system and a perfect voice for this kind of project. Taylor?
Thank you. Thank you to everyone for being here today to celebrate what I believe, and yes, I'm very biased, is one of the most transformational projects here in Mobile's history. That is saying something because this city is obviously rapidly becoming a major transportation and economic hub for the Southeast. As engineers and planners and contractors, public officials, and aviation professionals, our job is to prepare communities not just for where they are today, but where they will be heading tomorrow. I can't think of a project that represents that mission better than the new Mobile International Airport Terminal. This project is more than just a building. It's about connectivity, accessibility, and it's about creating a front door to this region that reflects where Mobile is headed. The community here in Mobile is growing quickly. More businesses are investing here, more families are moving here, more visitors are coming here, and with that, the growth comes with the responsibility to build infrastructure that is modern, efficient, and convenient for the people who rely on it every day. That is exactly what this terminal project delivers. For the traveling public, projects like this are home runs. They improve the passenger experience, reduce travel friction, and make air service more attractive and competitive. But they also create long-term economic impacts for the city of Mobile, for the state of Alabama, and the entire Gulf Coast region. One challenge we face across the country is that projects of this scale require talented people to design them, build them, and maintain them. And right now there's a major shortage of skilled engineers and infrastructure professionals nationwide. At the same time, we are seeing historic investments in aviation, transportation, and public infrastructure. The opportunities in this industry have never been greater, and I know that firsthand experience. We need more young professionals entering the careers because the work we do as engineers matters. There are very few professions where you can dedicate years of your life to a project and then watch that project serve your community for the next 50 to 100 years. That is a special kind of legacy. Years from now, people may never know all the names involved and all the funding agencies involved in this terminal, but they will absolutely benefit from the work that was done here. I want to thank our local and state leaders, our federal partners, the Airport Authority, and all the firms, contractors, and teams helping bring this vision to life. I'm incredibly excited to see the finished product, and even more excited to watch the impact it will have on this community for generations to come. Thank you, guys. And next, I'd like to introduce Derek Clyburn. He's the chair-elect of the American Council of Engineering Companies, ACEC. Derek is a licensed professional engineer and a national industry leader, helping shape how engineering firms deliver infrastructure across the country from planning to construction. Please help me welcome Derek Clyburn.
Well, greetings, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you here in Mobile as part of the Engineering Public Works Roadshow. Again, I'm Derek Clyburn, president of ECS Southeast, and I'm proud to serve as chair-elect of the American Council of Engineering Companies. I'm honored to be here on behalf of ACEC the American Public Works Association, the American Society of Civil Engineers, as part of the Engineering and Public Works Roadshow. As mentioned before, starting with the first stop in October of 2022 and continuing coast to coast from Long Beach, California to New York City, with stops in South Jordan, Utah, and Golden, Colorado in between. This campaign is now in its 4th year, spanning more than 20 stops, and as the mayor mentioned, our very first stop here in Alabama, and 60,000 miles covered. Our mission is simple: show Americans what engineers and public works professionals do and why it matters. Today, we are standing at the future site of the Mobile International Airport, a project that represents far more than construction equipment and concrete. As the mayor stated, this is an investment in the people of Mobile and in the future of the entire region. But as we get started, I'd like to recognize ACEC state leadership, Jim Meads, Sain & Associates, AC Alabama past president, Hank Eubanks with Volkert, ACEC Alabama Mobile Area Vice President, and Brian Henneman with HMB Professional Engineers, ACEC Alabama National Director, and AC Alabama Transportation Chair. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your work to strengthen our industry and the Mobile community. We know that airports like this are gateways. They connect families, businesses, visitors, and opportunities. They make it easier for companies to grow, for tourism to flourish, and for communities to compete in a global economy. When this airport is complete, it will strengthen Mobile's position as a center of commerce, innovation, and connectivity along the Gulf region. The Mobile International Airport represents far more than a new airport terminal or expanded air service. It is indeed transformational investment in the future economic strength of the Southeast and frankly the nation. The strategic importance of Mobile's geographic location has long been recognized, as this site roots trace back nearly 100 years with the establishment of the Brookley Army Airfield, later renamed the Brookley Air Force Base. This site played a critical role during World War II. Post-war Brookley evolved into a hub for both military and commercial aviation activities, significantly influencing the local economy and workforce. Mobile has long served as a strategic transportation gateway through its port, rail, highway, and aerospace assets. Strengthening this aviation infrastructure enhances connectivity for commerce, manufacturing, tourism, and national defense, while positioning Alabama and the Gulf Coast to compete more aggressively in the global economy. Investments like this creates jobs, attract industry, improve supply chain efficiency, and reinforces the Southeast's critical role in America's transportation network. But this story here is about community impact. This project will make travel more convenient for residents and businesses. It will attract new investment and support local employers, and it will send a strong message that Mobile is a city that's planning for its future. That is what Engineering and Public Works is all about. At their best, they solve practical challenges while improving people's daily lives. They help communities move forward safely, efficiently, and sustainably. At ACEC, we represent thousands of firms across the country, and we see every day how thoughtful infrastructure projects like this one strengthen communities. Behind every major public works project are engineers, public works officials, and community leaders working together to turn a vision into reality. Although this airport is still under construction, its impact is already taking shape, and it reflects what can be accomplished when communities invest in infrastructure, not just for today, but for generations to come. This project should serve as an example to communities across the country, but here's the challenge we face nationally. Right now, the United States has a shortage of engineers. The ACEC Research Institute found back as far as 2022 that roughly 184,000 engineers are retiring, while only about 166,000 new engineers are entering the workforce. That's a problem that needs a solution. So we need the next generation to see places like the Mobile International Airport and understand that someone planned it, someone designed it, and someone worked collaboratively to solve complex problems that got us here to this point today, construction. If you're a student and want to know that engineering is a meaningful work, if you're a parent, bring your kids here to Mobile via the Mobile International Airport, a gateway to the Gulf region, and let them ask questions about how it got built. If you're an elected leader, Invest in the workforce that makes your community stronger, just like the leaders here in Mobile. So again, thank you for the opportunity to be here today with you. Thank you to everyone helping build a stronger, more connected future for Mobile, for Alabama, and for the Gulf region. Thank you. Next, I would like to welcome Sherry Boucher, APWA Alabama Chapter President, to the podium.
Good morning. Wow, what an honor it is to speak with you on behalf of the Alabama chapter of APWA during National Public Works Week. Some heroes wear capes, but ours wear hard hats and boots. This year's motto is rooted in service, powered by community. And we believe the new Mobile International Airport Terminal project exemplifies this. Today, I invite you to join me in taking a moment to recognize what projects like this truly mean for our community. And after everyone has spoken this morning, what can I say that they haven't said? But I'll give it a little try. It represents the long-term vision, partnership, and the people who make progress possible. This endeavor is more than a transportation project. It's an investment in connectivity, economic opportunity, mobility, and the very future of the Gulf Coast region. Projects of this scale require coordination across engineering, construction, utilities, transportation, planning, yes, permitting, operations, and public service disciplines, the very kinds of collaborative public works professionals bring every day. So all along the pathway from imagination to implementation is where you'll find public works. And as public works professionals, we understand that transformational infrastructure is built with the long view in mind. And I know I'm not the first person to say transformational here this morning, and it just directs our focus to change, because that's what transformation is. And I do believe that this project will be marked by the before and after. The goal is not simply to complete a project, but to create something that lasts, something durable, functional, safe, and valuable for generations of residents, businesses, and visitors. This is our ripple in the pond, our boot print, our legacy. This project also highlights something APWA cares deeply about, as do I, and that's workforce development. Modern infrastructure depends on skilled professionals. All of the ones that I just named: engineers, operators, technicians, inspectors, planners, utility crews, and countless others who help communities function and grow. Investments like this help us showcase the importance of these careers and inspire the next generation to see infrastructure and public works as meaningful, impactful, vital professions, something they might want to be a part of. APWA Alabama is proud to support efforts that elevate infrastructure, strengthen communities, and bring visibility to essential work happening behind the scenes every day across our cities and counties. We appreciate the collaboration represented here today among public agencies, engineering partners, contractors, community leaders, and industry organizations. Projects like this succeed because many people work tirelessly together toward a shared vision for the community's benefit. Rooted in service, powered by community. We are the community. We are Public Works. Thank you.
So we've heard from ASCE, we've heard from ACEC, and we've heard from APWA. Let's give our national partners a round of applause because this is what collaboration really looks like. So next, we're excited to be joined by Luckett Robinson, Vice Chairman of the Mobile Airport Authority. Vice Chairman Robinson has played a pivotal role in advancing this project, and we're so grateful of your efforts. Thank you so much for being here today. I invite you up. Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to start out by saying thank you for that introduction, but at the Mobile Airport Authority, it has been a huge team effort, and I play just a very, very small role in this project. First of all, I would like to thank the attendees here, the Engineering and Public Works Roadshow for featuring this terminal that we're so proud of, the ASCE, the ACEC, and the APWA for recognizing this project. It's a lot of acronyms right there to spit out in one sentence. Whenever I give a speech about this terminal, I start with thanking those who really made it happen. And this was a vision that started a long time ago, and our federal counterparts, starting with Senator Shelby, going to Senator Britt, Tuberville, Figures, all the way down the line, the FAA have strongly supported this project. The state of Alabama, the county, the city and two administrations have strongly supported this project. And were it not for all of our government support, this project would never have happened. So we have to start with thanking all of those folks for making this happen. Second, it's really important to thank and honor the team that has constructed this. FSB, the architects and engineers, Volkert, Jesco, HPM, Hoare Program Management, Dorch and Figures, and tons of subcontractors who've contributed to this project and made it happen. We have not gone without some challenges, budgetary and timing standpoint, but every time a challenge came up, the team came and said, this is really important to the city, this is really important to the state, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And in big projects like this, that's sometimes not easy. And it's been incredible teamwork with everyone involved to see this project to the point that it's gotten to today. This terminal, my dad turned 97 this year. And he said that when he was a little boy, before the start of World War II, he actually remembers taking a commercial flight out of Brooklyn. So for me, I tell people it's really a coming home of the terminal moving back to Brooklyn. And for South Alabama, not only for Mobile, but for South Alabama, this terminal is now centrally located. It's going to be more convenient to our Baldwin County friends and neighbors, to everyone in Mobile right along I-10. It's truly going to be a transformative project for all of South Alabama. I'm not going to repeat what all of the speakers said, but I want to highlight a few things about the terminal itself. We're going to have 5 gates. We can handle tripling our emplanements in this facility from what we're doing today without adding any more gates. As you see coming in, we have an elevated roadway. So this terminal is unique in that many terminals are 2 levels. This will start out as a single level building where passengers can come and go easily with a connected parking deck. The infrastructure is designed for future growth. So we will be able to add 7 more gates as we grow, and the building is designed to handle that. The construction, as everyone sees, continues. I actually haven't been in the building in about 5 weeks, and now we're dried in. Yesterday we had a board meeting, and the common question is, when are we going to open? And the good news is that with the budget under control and the costs where we've been able to add back a few things. We're adding back some traffic circles, 2 traffic circles that will make getting to the terminal very easy and convenient. That's going to push the project into 2027, but we're not exactly sure when that date is. We're still working on the timelines for those road projects. The building itself and the parking deck will be substantially complete as we'd hoped in the September timeframe. But because we're adding a little more infrastructure to make the convenience for the traveler that much better, it's going to open a little bit in 2027. Once again, I want to thank the project teams, the workforce, our community, state, federal partners, and everyone supporting this transformational project. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Robinson. We are honored, if I could ask you to come back up, please. We're honored to recognize you with our Roadshow Crystal for leadership in the infrastructure space. We've talked about the collaboration at all levels of government that have helped bring this project to life. We're now joined by Chad Limblett, Director of Community Relations for Representative Barry Moore. Representative Moore represents Alabama's 1st Congressional District and has been serving us in Congress since 2020. Thank you for coming, Chad.
It's exciting as a Mobile native, having to drive way out west to East Mississippi to board a flight. It's an incredible facility. Congratulations to Luckett, the mayor, the entire airport authority, the associations that are represented. There are great things happening. So I'm gonna pivot a little bit. I think, as you said, everybody's covered everything about the airport, but I've got one more thing to add. Congressman Barry Moore is actively working with TSA to help cross those final hurdles right there. Daily conversations almost, and we're excited about what's to come there. So we'll pivot to the surrounding area in District 1 where we sit, and I'm very excited to say that the Congressman is talking with the White House every visit to the Oval Office, which now is becoming about a once-a-week thing, about the Mobile Bayway project, and it is becoming a big priority. And we are working closely with Congressman Shamari Figures and other members of the Alabama delegation to move that along. So with the Bridge Improvement Program, which I'm sure many industry partners in here are very familiar with, we've got 2 pathways forward. 1, we can either send funding directly to the Bayway Bridge project, or 2, we can send it to Alabama's Failing Bridges project and have the state divert the funds. We're working on that pathway forward along Congressman Figures and Senators Brett and Senator Tuberville for now, and we're very excited about that. Congressman Moore wishes he could be here with you all, but he is in DC working today on the surface improvement bill. I know many industry partners here are very excited. My boss is excited to move that forward and support it so we can continue the growth. A couple of accomplishments that are set in stone and not actively moving forward at the moment. We have 2 studies that were just put into WRDA. One is the channel depth study, which is going to be massive for the Mobile port. We've also got a new infrastructure development plan to expand access on Pinto Island, where our friends at Austell and other industry partners are. We've secured a stacker reclaimer for the coal terminal, which is going to make life a lot easier for those folks over there. $750,000 go into the Loxley water system for modern infrastructure improvements. $1.5 million for cybersecurity improvements at the port, which is going to be a big burden lifted off of their budget and make things run smoother, and also protect our critical infrastructure from not only a national security standpoint, but as the chamber folks here can tell you, from a business recruitment standpoint and expanding operations. We're also always happy to help with CPFs and grants. If you haven't met me yet today, please come up and get a card for me. If you want to be on our grant list, reach out. If you have a CPF that you want to be submitted, please let me know. We're going to be proactive and not reactive on infrastructure, as these agencies represented here are, and all the partners. Mobile's got great talent in the engineering world. We know we have Thompson, we have Hargrove, we have Volker, some world-class partners, and we're here for you. And I know that Barry Moore wishes he could be here with you today, but you've got a lifelong partner in him. And congrats to everybody who's made this happen, and great job on the roadshow.
Thank you, Chad. Now let's hear from the engineer of record on the project, Volkert. Volkert has led some of the greatest engineering projects in the nation, and beyond the airport, has played a vital role in reshaping Mobile's urban landscape. Not far from here, they are designing the I-10 Mobile River Bridge, as was just mentioned, in conjunction with Alabama Department of Transportation. We are joined by Hank Eubanks, Regional Vice President for Volkert. Hank?
Thank you, Lauren. For everybody that does know me, everybody knows that public speaking is not really my forte. I do a lot better in a closed door environment with a team of folks trying to drive the train and push it forward. This project right here has just been impactful. And it's really just an honor to be a Mobilian right now. I'll say that. I wasn't born and raised in Mobile, but I've been here for 27 years, and I'm going to continue to stay here. I love this community, love this town, love the people within it. This project in and of itself is so impactful to not just the city of Mobile, but like everybody else has already said, impactful to the communities in and around Mobile and the counties that surround it. But when it really gets down to it, the real reason we're here is this event is to talk about the collaboration between engineering and public operators. And the reason that's important is because a lot of the stuff is funded with federal dollars, state dollars, taxpaying dollars, and therefore there's standards that have to be in place that when we design infrastructure and put that into use, those operators are going to take it over when we're gone. So it's important that we understand what we're doing, we do it right, we do it to the best of our ability, but at the same time work together to make it all come together. It's when we sit in this building right now, it's easy to see what's right in front of us. It really is. And what you see is big, pretty windows, tall ceilings, steel structure. But if you look out, on your left, you see an aircraft apron and a taxiway. That's part of this project too. When you look out to your right, you see a roadway and a bridge. That's part of this project too. When you think about having bathrooms and concessions, HVAC, all these utilities that have to service this piece of infrastructure to make it function the way it should, all that collaboration has to take place, which is a monumental feat. And this project is the poster child for that. I'll just say that. It really is. Most of the projects that we participate with, we go do a road job, or we go do a bridge job, we do an airport job. And we only really collaborate with the owner of that one facility, but this thing touches so many different entities. It's just unbelievable. When I would be remiss to not mention the people that have helped do that. This thing started with a concept and a vision 20 plus years ago, however long ago that was. I've been involved with the airport and working with the airport authority for over 12 years of my career. And so I've seen this thing kind of just get some stamina and get some muscle and get strength and come to where it is today, and it's something to be very proud of. But I kind of lost my train of thought, but I'll get it back. When we have these type of projects, the people that do them are the most important. HOK was a big player in this project. The planning and programming that was involved with setting up an airport to function the way an airport's supposed to function is something that had to be done before we could even start doing design. We can't figure out, we just can't draw stuff on a piece of paper without having some sort of really in-depth plan. So HOK was responsible for that, and then we had FSB architects and engineers that was responsible for the design and the architecture of the actual building that you're sitting in. Walker Consultants was the expert for the parking deck that we have adjacent to the building. And then we have RS&H and Avcon, who were handling the airside improvements for the improved taxiways and improved apron area to support the new aircraft, or the bigger aircraft that's going to be servicing this building. And then Volker, the company I work for, we were responsible for all the landside infrastructure. So that includes everything from the roadways in, the bridge that's out front, and all the utilities that come from the utility providers that service this building. Who else am I missing? Then we've got landscaping that we still have to do. And then some of the other key factors to all that stuff happening is to remember that we have to know what our soil investigations show. So we have like Southern Earth Sciences and GET, both major players in the local community stationed right here in Mobile. And then Smith, Clark and Associates was responsible for all the topographic survey and ground penetrating radar. And then the agency coordination was passed through Grant Associates or Gant Associates. Carlos Gant was basically the point of contact from, between the city of Mobile and Volker, or the city of Mobile and FSB, or whoever that authority having jurisdiction was. He was that guy that basically had to funnel that information. It wouldn't have worked real well if everybody on the authority having jurisdiction side was trying to figure out who to call on our side to get the packages that they needed. So this thing is come from nothing to where it is today. And I'm quite proud to say I'm part of this, really. And then ultimately, it wouldn't go right if I didn't announce David over there. So you can start the jackhammer back up. No, Jesco, longtime partner. I've worked with them on numerous Airbus projects. We have a great working relationship. And they're the CMAR on the project. It's been a pleasure to work with them as always. Looking forward to more projects with them in the future. And then in closing, I guess the last thing I'd like to say is just thank you to the City of Mobile and thank you to the Airport Authority for continuing to let Volker be a part of the infrastructure projects that you guys put forth and letting us be involved and leave thumbprints on infrastructure that, is very impactful to this community. Thank you.
Before you sit down, thank you, and we're honored to recognize you with our Roadshow Crystal for leadership on this important project. Hank, again, thank you and your team for all you've done for this project. So, in closing, let's give all of our speakers one last round of applause. So, listening to everyone's remarks today, I am reminded of how interconnected our infrastructure systems are, how much they depend on one another to form a fully functioning urban landscape. But I'm also reminded of the interconnected collaborative approach needed to bring these projects online. The Mobile International Airport is an example of the private sector and all levels of the public sector working together to create something that benefits everyone. It's inspiring to witness and sets an example for future work here in Alabama and across our country. Thank you all for taking time and for being here today. This will conclude our event. Thank you.